Hello, in this video I'm going to drive a test route from the Heath Driving Test Centre in South Birmingham. I'll be showing you what it's like to take a driving test in the rain, and I'll be giving lots of useful hints and tips from my 20 plus years of being a driving instructor. So let's get straight into it. And the first thing you'll notice when I turn the car on, and you'll be seeing all the information on the screen, there'll be a map at the top left showing you where I'm going. But the first you'll notice is that the windows can be a bit steamed up in its weather. Now I have done another video, which I'll link to all the videos I mentioned. There'll be links in the description. I did another video a few months back going over the car controls for demisting the windows, so check that one out. But it is your responsibility to make sure the windows stay clear, and that could mean turning the heater on. And many people don't get taught how to do that, so make sure you know how to turn the heater on, how to open your windows and close them, because if you just start to steam up, you are responsible for that. I'm going to press one button, which is the very bottom button. I actually got this one wrong in the video where I went through the controls. I pointed to the wrong button, but the bottom button there heats up the front windscreen. So this is how you start your driving test in Heath, parked on the wrong side of the road as you were, facing traffic, and very often you can't see. Now the examiners will almost always help you. I've sat in the back of the car on hundreds of driving tests, and I've only ever known, I think once or twice, they didn't help pupils out. But you may have to reverse to get a better view. The big thing to do here is, as I mentioned in other videos, do not do what I'm about to do now. Can you spot this mistake? How have I already just potentially failed? Because you can fail for that. Because I didn't look back before I chose reverse. I've seen times when there's been a person walking behind the car and the pupil goes to reverse and the examiner goes, brake, stop, you cannot reverse, there's a pedestrian behind you. You failed and you haven't even moved. Yes, I teach people well, but people get nervous on tests and make these classic mistakes. So make sure you do observations, check. If there's someone walking behind your car, it is not a good idea to tell them, I'm about to reverse. Wait, let them go. Look, okay, it's safe. Now reverse, check. Look back, a gas clutch, and back off back just a bit. Also checking forwards, stop. Down to one, check. I will signal because the visibility is poor. Now I can't see ahead, so I'm going to roll, avoiding dry steering. I'll talk about that in a moment. There's a car going to be on, so I'll stop. I'll pause because I think they're going to pull over. No. Now I'll leave my signal on to show what I intend to do, but the fact I'm stopped means I'm not going. And it's good I left it on because that's why I left it on. It's a learner car, and they want the space I was in. I'm guessing. No, they've gone past, so maybe not. That's a good point though. You could say, should I have left the signal on? Well, you can look at it both ways. If I left it on, they stopped and let me go. But I didn't force them to stop. I didn't play erratically and make them slam the brake on. That's different to if you just, what's this kid doing on a bike? This is not what you want to be seeing. Yeah, watch out for people on scooters. Great example of what I was just saying. If something suddenly happens, it's bad. If you suddenly appear and suddenly shoot off and fly, like if I'd have pulled out quickly then and had to brake hard because that car was there, it'll be wrong. But I didn't do it in a sudden way. I signalled, I had my brake lights on, they could see what was happening, they chose to stop. That's different to if I pull up just here, no one around, so I won't signal. If I was to do this, let's imagine there's a car coming along the road behind me. Now there isn't, but imagine there was, and I thought there was a car coming, and I pull out and make them stop. You failed. I didn't make them stop, they chose to stop, and there is a big difference. If I'd taken the signal off, they may have also done the same thing, but this is the point. It's quite hard to explain exactly how the test works because you need experience to do it. You need to, I'm going to pull up again just here. Again, if I signal now, I don't have to, but I will. There's a car appearing from ahead. If the visibility isn't great like here, I prefer to do it anyway, just to warn someone if they appear. So, we've hardly started and already lots has happened. So, I could have told the signal off, it doesn't matter, but you can also leave it on. It's as long as your actions don't make other road users take an action which they didn't intend to. So that car chose to stop, give way, no problem. I was just in and out for that van. If I move off here without signalling, that will be bad, because that van could have been planning to pull up in front of me. So this is always a big thing on driving tests. Do I signal or do I not signal? My general saying is, when you're driving, if you're not sure, don't do it. So if you're at a junction thinking, can I go, should I go? If you're not sure, don't do it. An exception to that is the signals. If you're not sure, it's generally better to signal than not. Tell people what you intend to do. Like now you think, could I signal left? You don't have to, but if I do this, it isn't wrong, it's just I didn't need to. There's no one around, and even if there was, the road goes this way, that branches off. But if it will benefit someone without confusing them, then signal. You will not signal now and then pass that road and then pull up. That will be confusing. But it's all done in a way where the examiners will use their experience and what's happening at the time. The context is important. You can't just say you must signal now and you must not signal now. It doesn't work like that. So sorry to go over that point, but I'm not sorry because it's important. That's what you're here for. But yeah, it's a very important point. A lot of people fail because they do or don't signal correctly. I could do a whole video on that. Like if I'd have gone before that bus, I could have, but it would have been tight. I would have been rushing it. So if I go now, I've waited a bit, no problem. Is that undue hesitation? Is that not making progress? No, it's just being a good driver. And this really is the biggest point of this entire video. I'm going to go this way. If you remember what I'm about to say, you will fly through your driving test with ease. You won't have any problems, and it's just simple. Learn to drive properly and do that in your driving test. You know, a lot of people make videos about driving test hacks and top 5 things the examiners want to see. There is only one thing the examiners want to see: safe driving. If you drive safely, you'll pass. It is not like people think with his nitpicky, oh, you did this, you did that. The examiner is taking a holistic look at your driving, like I'm looking at them in case they're going to pull out, and they're thinking, is this person safe to be on the road? That's what they're ultimately looking for. And I know, because I've been doing this for over 20 years, I've spoken to dozens of examiners. I once spoke to an examiner as they were going through the training process to become an examiner, and they told me a lot about what was going on. This at the end, we're going to turn left. This confuses people because it's a bit of a Y-Junction. So you come up, you have to give way to anyone from the right who might be coming back out. Very rare, but it could happen. Signal left again here to make my intentions clear. Roll, creep, don't stop, carry on. If you haven't seen my hundreds of videos about driving, that is one of the main things you must do, which is to roll and maintain momentum. You do not stop, go, stop, go. If you're being taught to stop, go, it's rubbish. You'll have massive problems on your test and afterwards if you drive like that. So, down second, pedals off before the bend, round I go. So at the end of this road, I'll point out how you don't do it. And I'll quickly say, if you can't see out the rear camera very well, it's situated in a part of the window where it's not covered by the wiper. So I can see perfectly fine, but if you can't see out the back camera very well, it's off from where the wiper is. If I put it where the wiper is, it gets in the way, I can't see as well. So end of the road left, a lot of people say, which way are we going? You got no choice. You do not do this. Don't just get there and just stop dead for no reason. Stop. Handbrake. 1. Oh, I could have gone. Too slow. I missed a chance then. I could have gone. You do not just stop and handbrake. Does it matter that I'm not signalling? No, because I've got to go left anyway. Again, you could spend hours arguing about do you signal, do you don't? Do you not signal? If you've only got to go left, you don't have to indicate. the car behind wouldn't benefit from me signalling because I was pointing left, and that's what people don't often understand. When we say signal, we don't just mean this. There's more ways of signalling than that. Your position is a signal. Your brake lights are a signal of what you're doing. Your speed is a signal. It's not just the signal there. We'll come back to that point in a moment. End of the road, right. Now they will say here the very end of the road. So at the very end we go right, not just here. Not like that car did. We wait till we passed this road, then we signal. We roll into first gear, brake off, gas, clutch, creep, crawl. Do not just stop unless you have to. Now, excellent example. There is an ambulance coming from the right. People panic, oh, stop ambulance, oh, stop, I'll make it. You don't have to, just creep, crawl. There is no need for me to stop. And I'm not being funny with learners, I'm not taking a mick, it's just, that is what learners do, they panic and they slam the brake on. And I know because I've taught over 1,000 people to drive. That position back there I've mentioned in other videos. I did one, which one was it? The top 10 places people fail in King's Heath, or was it my common driving test mistakes in King's Heath? One of those two videos I mentioned that on. And I'm going next left where they've recently installed speed bumps. So mirrors, signal. Coming back to what I said about the signal, many lesser experienced instructors just think that that is a signal. Yes, it is a signal, it's an indicator, but you don't have to signal just with that. Not the best example, but I shall go left here actually. I'm just going to get around here, I'm going to go and do my manoeuvre down this road. So that signal was a bit like there, I wasn't actually going to go this way. I've just changed the route a bit in my mind. But again, it was safe enough, I didn't just swerve last minute. So it's quite busy up here, it's actually today. Your positioning is in some ways equally or more important than the signal. So I'm going to pull up on the right. Now this time there's no one around, so I don't need to indicate anyway. So I'm going to check no one around anywhere near, so I'll just pull over here and I'm going to do my right reverse. Now I'm going to pull up here. They'll ask you to pull up on the right side of the road, handbrake, neutral. The car won't go in standby mode because I've got the blower on the heater. So if I turn it off, it may well go in standby mode later, where you know the auto start, stop, stop, start. So this this manoeuvre is where people often go wrong for the same reason they did at the beginning. Check all around, then select reverse, then go back. Looking back before I move, don't go back. I'm sure there's no one around, but don't do this, don't go back like this. You're not even looking, you've messed up. Look like that. Check. Take it slow, there's no need to rush. If anyone appears, stop. Let the traffic pass. This can be done on busy roads. Back. Don't just stop, wait for them to say thanks, you've done whatever. Come back, come back, come back. I'm looking everywhere and they'll say thanks, that's far enough. Stop, handbrake, neutral. They'll say continue driving when it's safe to do so. So I check all around. Do I need to indicate? Well, there's no one around, so no, I don't. So I can just go, no signal. Now I've mentioned before in other videos, we're not doing advanced driving, but when you do advanced driving, you can fail for signalling at the wrong time. If you indicate there's no one around, you'll fail an advanced test for that if you do it more than a couple of times probably. Again, it depends on how, when and why you're doing it. And I know that because, as I've said before, that's how I failed my first advanced test. Because I remember the examiner saying, it's quite funny. He was quite a kind of old-fashioned POSH man. He was saying, but Paul, you were signalling when there were no other road users around. And I remember saying to him, because at the time I was a very young sort of kid, I suppose you'd say. And I said to him, well, what's your problem? There's no one around, who cares if you signal? He said, no, that is not the point, that is not how we do it. I always remember him, I wonder if you're still around, probably not. But he was right, because what's the point of signalling if no one's around? There's no one going to see it, so why bother? That isn't on the L test, but that's how it's marked on the advanced test. What does this sign mean on the left here? I'll keep slow so you've got time to see it. What's it mean? Well, it tells you underneath, priority over oncoming vehicles. So I can go. There's another one of those further on, which is a bit weird, because even though you have priority, you kind of don't. You'll see what I mean when we get there. And this is a great example of how signs don't always mean what they say. Well, they don't always have to be taken what they say. You must drive in the real world, is how I put it. So there's no good just saying, well, that sign says do this. Yes, but the sign can't see. The sign doesn't have any intelligence. It's like when it says slow on the floor. I always remember something, one of my best trainers I ever had, he was brilliant, and he said to me, the paint doesn't know how fast you're going. Yes, it says slow, but it's just a paint that says slow. It doesn't know how fast you're going. It says here, give way. Why could I not give way? This is where people's messed up. They give way like this to a car coming the other way. Why can't I give way like that? What's wrong? I'm blocking the road. Yes, it says give way, but you can't because of the way people park. So they give way. But people get confused and say, well, it said give way on the floor. Yeah, you did. But you couldn't. Because by giving way, you're getting in the way. So, don't ignore signs. It says slow on the floor there. You think, why does it say slow? There's a school, which I think's down that road. You don't ignore things, but you have to question them. When this sign says 27, 26, I've known the schools down there actually. I've had many pupils in lessons. I also say on lessons. Many pupils in lessons have seen that sign and they've braked, thinking it's a speed limit. Then that sign says 23, and they think all the speed limits change, and they brake and come down again. And they keep saying to me, why does the speed limit keep changing on that sign? It isn't the speed limit, it shows you the speed you're doing. So, checking there, because I thought I can't go. It's the speed you're doing. And sometimes people think it's a limit that's changing. It's not. Why is that one different to this one? Because mine was saying 30 and that was saying 27. I wonder what the one on the screen was saying, probably 28. It's the all speedos are slightly different, and the one in your car here is generally a couple of miles an hour under what you're doing at least. So I check my mirror there, brake, just second here, brake off, roll. Why can I do second? Because the heel's pulling me down. I can brake, leave the clutch up, don't need the clutch. Brake off, go. Get third early because the heel's helping. You see how much heels help? I'm not really doing anything with the pedals. These are sort of semi-advanced topics I can do videos about, but I'm trying to fit in, well I'm fitting in as much as I can to help you in this video. So I may jump from one topic to another because I want to help you as much as I can. End of the road left, mirrors, don't signal now, might look as though I'm going to pull up here. Are there any roads before the end? No, there's a little driveway thing, but I'm not gonna be driving up there. It's more like for wheelchairs or whatever. Checking, creeping, going, see I didn't stop. Now talking and not stopping, there is a great part here where people go wrong, and it's traffic lights. So the lights, when they go right, these lights change quite quickly. So you only normally get one or two cars at a time through. They've just gone to green, so they'll probably be back to red before we get there. If you don't know that, it can be tricky, but if you know the area a bit, it can help in some ways. So mirror signal, make my intentions clear. I'm ready to stop, brake, clutch, down, and I'll stop. Now because I've only just gone red, there is no point at all in creeping. So I apply the handbrake and go to neutral, and it goes in standby mode. There is no point creeping here like I mentioned earlier. Don't creep, 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 creep. There is no chance for going, the light's on red. The green sign is on over there for the people crossing. There is no point in creeping when you clearly can't go. The creeping is for when you're at a give way sign or lights or pretty much anything. Even lights when they've been on red a long time, you can maybe creep and crawl and go. But I know from being here loads of times before that the ones opposite will go before we do. this is where local knowledge can help. I know when a woman's jogging over there, goes down to a lovely tunnel, if you want to go and visit that. So these cars opposite will start to go soon. When they stop, we'll go next. It's one way at a time, and you've got to be aware of this. I'm thinking now, if I didn't know the road, pretend I don't know where I am, I'm thinking, well, they're going, but I'm not. So when I go, and I'll get ready now, it'll be quite soon, maybe they'll be stopped when I go, because this one is one way at a time. And there are two sets of lights here. How do you know there are two different sets? And I want the right lane to go ahead, because it says ahead on the floor. These are different mirror, ready to brake. Go. How do you know those are different lights? Because there was another line on the floor. There were the lights and there was a white line. Each white line denotes a separate set of lights. So the first set of lights are stop time on one, then there was a white line on the floor, was another. I've seen several crashes there, including a learner on the driving test. I've still got a video of that. I don't think I've ever shown you, but I've got the video of a learner there who got smashed from behind by a taxi. I'm guessing because they stopped and the taxi didn't. And you can see him at the side of the road with the examiner and had the car smashed. There was also a tragic case there about 20 odd years ago. There used to be too many roundabouts, and they improved it by changing it to that crossroads. And I think it was within about a month or a week, I think it was, of the new junction. Tragically, one of the lifeguards who worked at the local leisure centre got knocked down and killed on that junction. I always remember that. I think it was about 2001, 2002, something like that. Yeah, I always remember that. Used to be too many roundabouts, used to cause a lot of confusion. So next roundabout, we're going to go left first exit. I like to call this one the McDonald's roundabout because there's a McDonald's on it. So I used to go years ago, I used to live just down here. I used to walk to that McDonald's a lot. So second, gas, sorry, not because brake off, steer, then the gas, and off we go. And you notice I might talk quite a bit. And I'll tell you something I often tell my pupils on driving tests, in driving lessons. Sometimes people say to me, oh, you talk too much, you confuse the things, you're waffling. Any ideas why I do that? It's not by accident. It's not because I want to talk to people. There is a reason why I do that. So we're down to first, check, go. Second before I take the roundabout, round, notice the smashed lamppost on the left there. Someone's gone off. I did a video years ago, someone on the right. Did a video years ago, someone spun off when it's that one. I was in a lesson once where somebody coming towards us on his bend too quickly, did a 118 fish-tailed into that lamppost. That one's damaged as well. You notice how many lampposts are damaged down here? That's where I used to live. You notice? People can fly around here, but not like a racetrack. That van's going to pull over. Now this is where you will pull over and they turn the stand nav on. Is he going to pull over? Yeah. I won't do it now because our van did, but you would pull over here and they'll put the stand nav on. The stand nav will be on the top left of the screen. I may have made it so the line only appears now to show you where we're going. If I can do that, I will. Or the line showing you the route may have been there all the time or not at all. But why do I talk like that? Why do I say so much sometimes, and why do I seem to bombard pupils? Well, if you don't know, I'm not just a driving instructor, I'm also a hypnotist, a hypnotherapist, and I help people overcome the fear and phobia of driving with hypnosis, so I understand the mind and how it works. I've trained in things like NLP, psychology, psychotherapy, coaching, counselling, CBT, and I work as an online hypnotherapist, online therapist I suppose you should say. What's the speed on this road? Did you notice? Well, that proves my point. You see, one reason I talk a lot to pupils is it's all to do with me understanding how the mind works. And there's a puddle on the floor here, so I brake, come down to third, check my mirrors, can I go, notes or slow down more, down to second. Really good example there. You would not want to go through that puddle at speed. Why? Because the puddle can pull you off the road. Talking of pulling, this car's pulling well, blimey. The last few months I've been filling this car up with super diesel premium diesel and high octane fuel, it really makes a difference. That car pulled away like mad then. Anyway, so a lot of people go wrong there because they don't come down the gears. Notice if I stay in fourth, it can struggle a bit because I didn't get the speed up as much as I could have. So I dropped to third and I push. I mentioned that in my other video about mistakes made around King's Heath. A lot of people struggle on that hill, and if you don't slow down for that puddle, you'll be in big trouble, because remember that your steering wheel is connected to your tyres, which means your tyres are connected to your steering wheel. What difference does that make, you might ask? Well, if you go through a puddle, water can pull your tyre. Water is incredibly powerful. It's one of the most powerful forces on the planet. I mean, look at Niagara Falls, right? Look how powerful that is. Water is strong, and if you're driving along casually like this, one hand on the wheel in a high gear, and you go through a puddle, believe me, I've had it happen. The wheel gets ripped out of your hands. So you slow down, hold the wheel firmly, both hands, low speed, low gear. The examiners should not let you go through a puddle at speed. That is dangerous. I've learnt all these things from experience. I've been pulled off the road when I was a youngster. I still am a youngster, right? When I first started driving, the mistakes I made, how I never crashed doing that, I don't know. But anyway, let's get back to what I was saying. What's the speed on this road? National, so I can pick up, right? I put my foot down, right, like this. No. The examiner says no. Why? Because it's a speed limit, not a speed target. You cannot do 60 on this road, especially in this weather. With the rain, the increased stopping distances, no way. I'd say probably 30, 35, 40 maybe. There is a cat who often lies in the road around the bend. Probably because there's a load of chickens around here and they've got extra sale, as you'll see from the sign. You can't do the speed just because that's what the speed limit is. It's a limit, not a target. It is not conducive to the speed. Free manure for sale, kindling for sale. So, I'm saying a lot. I know I'm kind of going through this very quickly, but there is a reason I do that. And some people misunderstand. I say, you're waffling, you're talking too much. Why do I do that? Does anyone know? Think about what I just said about hypnosis and the mind. What am I doing? I've mentioned it in other videos. I wonder if anyone can remember me explaining once why I talk like that. Pull over, the examiner's asked me to pull over, so I pull over, then I hiccup. The hiccup is optional. So, move off again when it's safe to do so. There's a car behind, so I wait for them. Great example, if I'd started moving then, not good. A lot of people, there's another car behind. If I signalled now to the right, imagine the confusion I would cause. And there's a clue. So, with that car, those cars are waited for them to go past. In fact, I'm going to turn off and have a quick drink because I've been talking a lot. Need a quick drink. Notice I turned the car off fully. That's only water, not alcohol. Notice I turned the car off fully to have a drink. That's an important point. I've known people who've been on tests, not on tests, they've been in tests. And they're pulled over and they've gone to have a drink. And I'm thinking, hey, don't do that. You're not supposed to drink when you're driving, not just alcohol. Don't pick up your drink and have a drink now the engine's on. The engine must be completely off. Don't drink and drive, not just alcohol. It's not a good idea to pick up water and drink. I remember a case once where a woman did that at lights. She was at traffic lights with the engine in standby mode and she got fined by the police for having a drink of water on a really hot day. Anyway, don't do this, don't signal and think, oh, there's a car behind me coming out of the junction. Yeah, I just wait for them. Why aren't they going? Go on. Because you're telling them you're going. Don't do this. Don't move off. And think, oh, there's a car coming behind. Go on, go around me. Go on. Go around me. What are you doing? Go on. Go around me. You're confusing people. There's another clue. What you do is this. Prepare, observe, signal if needed, or signal for that van, handbrake, POSH, P-O-S-H. Prepare, observe, signal if needed, handbrake if needed. You don't have to put the handbrake on, but generally you would have once you stopped. So, lots going on here, and I'd like to point out, one way you can tell I know what I'm talking about is I don't script any of this, I make this up as I go. If ever you see anyone, therapists, driving instructors or anyone, reading off scripts, jump cuts in the video, they keep stopping and jumping forward a few seconds. Why are they doing that? Because I don't need to. I know what I'm doing. All my experience, I can do it ad hoc. I can do it off the cuff, whatever the saying is. I don't need notes. That learner's going to play, that's fine, I'm not going too quickly. Second road on the right. So mirrors, wait till I've passed that one, then indicate. So I know what I'm talking about, I'll make it up as I go. That is a sign of a driving instructor who's good. And it's a sign of a learner who's good. I'm not thinking, clutch, two, clutch up, clutch down, one, brake up, no, handbrake. Well, if you're doing that, you are not ready for a driving test. When you go for a test, your driving should flow. Like now, it's 60 on this road, can I do it? No, 60 for this vehicle is different for different vehicles. But I'm going to do about 40 odd. I'm covering the brake with my right foot, ready to brake in case of horses, no one behind. Imagine someone was there, boom, I could brake hard. I'd sort of 50% braking power. Easy, because I was over the brake, I was ready. You must not react as a driver, like there with the van. If you think, a van will brake to your left, you're not ready for a test if you're doing that. Most people, not most, but many people who go for driving tests are not ready. And the reason they fail is things like this. They're driving down the road like this with the van the other way, and they do this. They're braking. Why are you braking? If you were doing that, it's a sign you're not ready. It's what I call flinching. Learners often go, it's a van, brake. No, you're not ready. You've got to be confident. Push, go, forth, go. Not going too quickly, not going too fast, like we said earlier. And I'll do the show me question now. Can you show me how to wash the front windscreen? Hold that towards you for a couple of seconds. Yes, it's raining. Yes, it seems pointless. But if they ask you to do that, that's what you do. So brake, round the bend. And if there's a smell of alcohol in the air, you won't smell that, of course, in the video. It smells strongly of alcohol because of the extra strong screen wash I've run in his car. I keep mentioning alcohol, I should point out, I don't drink, I've never even been drunk in my life. I don't touch alcohol at all. So, end of the road, what's it saying? What's that sign saying? Stop. So what must you do? Stop. You cannot just creep on this until after you've stopped. So mirrors, signal, brake, clutch, steer, then gear. What am I saying? Steer, don't panic for the gear now. Steer, stop just before the line. You don't have to put the handbrake on. Into first gear, brake off, roll, brake again, creep, gas, clutch, come here, go. Get on with it. Second, get on with it. Third, don't dawdle. Don't come out of a junction and be like this. People come in second, pick up slow. I've got my driving test, got to show I'm nice and safe and slow. Third, nice and slow. The examiner's thinking, nope, you're not confident, you're not passing. National, mirrors, go for it, get on with it. Can't see too far ahead, so not too fast. I'll stay in third, covering the brake. Can I go? Ready to brake, I'm braking, gas go. As soon as you can see go, when you're round the apex, halfway point, the bend, go. Covering my brake, braking, ready to stop. View's good, go, gas, go, get on with it. Fourth, go. Do not be a timid learner like this, nervous braking. You're not ready for a test if you're doing that. I can see, mirrors, go, get on with it. The examiner's thinking, wow, this person is confident. And I've had examiners who have said to me, good job. My pupils go for tests confident. If you're not confident, I'm not taking you. You've got to be confident. which is why I became a hypnotherapist. There's a good plug for my services. If you've got driving test nerves, check out the link in the description to my free hypnosis track about driving test nerves. And I'm going to pull up again on left. The examiner will say pull up somewhere safe. I'm not going to pull up in the lay-by simply because there's a lot of damage in that lay-by, or the brake clutch. It's not as bad as it used to be. I could pull in there, but I'm going to pull up here. Now, this is not the best place to pull up in general. People say, should you pull up on a national speed road? Is there anyone around me, behind, ahead? Would anyone care? No. No one's around, no one's going to care. It doesn't matter. So you don't need to indicate. You can pull up here, that's fine. But on a serious note, if you have got a fear of driving and you can't do that, people sometimes think, well, that's just how I am. It isn't. If you are not able to drive confidently, you are unlikely to pass your driving test. And even if you do, you're going to be a danger to yourself and other people. You've got to be confident as a driver, as a chair myself. So, if you want to overcome your fear of driving, check out my links in the description to my free driving anxiety course. There are over 800 free videos in that course. And there are paid ones as well if you want to go further and work with me. Because if you've got a fear of driving, that can stop you from passing your driving test. For example here, looking ahead, it says 50. It's a slip road. You've got to show confidence. Do not be timid on slip roads. I'm in third. I'm braking this car as okay in third, especially with high octane fuel. Checking around, mirrors, signal, great example, tractor behind. Whatever his telehandler, get on with it, go, push, 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 push. Third, fifth. If I'd have been timid there, thinking, oh no, there's something coming around, oh I can't do it, I'm actually going to go and do that again. I'm going to drive that again and show you. That was such a great example. There is no point in being timid. This white vehicle shouldn't go. That would be dangerous if they did. I'm going to go around and show you that lay-by again. Says road ahead closed. But I'm going to go and show you that again, because this isn't, I should point out, there's no such thing as a test route. They can change the route anytime they like. So I'm going to go around, you normally go that way. I'm going to go and show you that one again. Give you as much value as I can. So, mirrors, signal. There is no point in being timid and going on that slip road slowly and creeping and crawling and being safe. There is often this thing about slow is safe. Slow is not safe. Slow is slow. Safe is safe. Do not mistake slow for being safe. Sometimes fast is safe. Sometimes slow is safe. But safe is always safe. So don't get in this thing about you've got to go slow, you must be slow. I've heard this many times when people say, oh, my parents have given me some tips. What have they told you? Well, they told me just to drive really slowly. I don't know, you're not going to pass. They do not want to see people driving like this, crawling around like this. Oh, I'm being safe. Oh, aren't I a safe driver? Look how safe I am. Now look how annoying you are and getting in the way for everyone. And look how little confidence you've got. Get on with it. There is a fine line between confidence and arrogance. Don't just go fast for the sake of it. There's no point here thinking, well, it's national, so I'm just going to go national. Pull foot down, blast away. You're not looking what's coming up. What's at the end of the road? Well, the end of the road's at the end of the road. There's no point going, the end of the road. I didn't see the end of the road. You've got to get the right mix, and this is something that's so difficult to teach and to get to people to do. One, roll, break off, wait, can I go? Yes, normally get on with it, except I'm going to pull over in the lay-by. I wonder if it is damaged still. I want to see if it's still damaged. This is a massive pothole here. I'll go very slow again. It's good to go slow now. Now it's okay. Fun reminder, fun memory for me, was it 2021? I think I was teaching someone here. We pulled up in this lay-by and he opened the door, ran out of the car. No, what's he doing? And he was throwing up at the back of the car. He was feeling ill, and I think he had COVID, if I remember. I don't remember exactly, but I know he said, oh, sorry about that. He was just violently sick. Not because of the way I was teaching or he's driving, he was just ill. I always remember that. Was that you? Remind me. Say hello if that was you. So this slip road, car way back, Do not be timid. You've got to be ready to go. Third works in this car. It may not work in yours. It does in this car. Mirrors, signal, show what I intend to do. Can I go? Check the blind spot. Yes, go. If I hadn't have gone, now that car's passing, so I'm not going to go full speed. Out of courtesy, I'll let them in. Then I'll speed up. Excellent point there. I'm so glad that happened. Thanks to that driver. Thank you for that. I'm going to go roundabout ahead, and I'll talk about that more. Which lane for ahead? Look at the floor. I know the markings are terrible. Which lane goes ahead? Left is best. So brake, third. Clutch up, be positive. Can I go? No. So I drop to 1. Being positive does not mean going. This is working out brilliantly, this video. Second, accelerate. Third, accelerate. Check the mirrors. Signal. Come off the road. Get on with it. That car's still in the right lane. When I'm on this road, foot down, go for it. Pick up. Get on with it. Fifth, not going to outrun a car. I'm not racing them. Sixth, I can stay at 60 odd, but I'll get up to 70 if they allow me to, because I don't really need to overtake, but I'm getting up to speed. Yes. Have you learned how to do this in your driving lessons? Not to cough, but to put the cruise control on. I've got cruise control on. I'm ready to brake, but you can use cruise control if needed. Maybe not the best conditions for it with the rain and the bends, but if you've been taught to use the speed limiter, I've got a limiter on now. I put my foot down, I can get up to say 70, put that 70, put my foot down, and the car now automatically holds 70. You won't let me go over. I move my foot down on the gas, you won't go over. Have you been taught all of these things? If not, ask your instructor why not. I always put it as much as I can, time depending, that is. Now I might need to overtake this car, but what did I mean before when I spoke about courtesy? Well, if someone moves out of the way for you, it is courteous to not blast along this road and block them. Imagine if they'd moved over and I put my foot down and matched their speed, and now they're stuck next to me. I've put them in an impossible situation. They can't speed up or they'll be speeding. They can't brake because there's a car behind them. So I forced them into being stuck. So I held back. I let them come in front of me when I was in their rear mirror. I always had the same rear mirror, because aren't all mirrors rear mirrors? That's the point of a mirror, right? Because it shows you what's behind you. There is a reason for that. I'll do in another video maybe. But yeah, so out of courtesy, don't outrun other drivers. Now I could have passed this one, but I want to talk to you about these things. So I'm not in a mad rush to get anywhere, but you could have passed that vehicle if you wanted to. Maypole roundabout, I'm going to go straight ahead, second exit to Birmingham. This is the end of the test. So looking at the sign, not the best sign, but it is ahead. Looking at the floor, I know you can't see as well in the video, but I'll brake, I'll give as much time as I can. The car behind is going left. Which lane goes ahead? The middle. Watch that car behind me, he's in the left lane. Second, can I go? No. So one, brake off. Watch this vehicle, they may not turn left, will they? I can't go because that car's going, that car's now gone. Keep checking the left mirror. Gas, clutch, creep. There's a van on the left, but I can go. Gas, clutch, creep, check the mirror. Accelerate into second, mirror signal, accelerate third. Check the right mirror, right lane when you come off because there's a bus lane. Cover the brake, brake signal off. Brake off, down, clutch, down. Second, brake off, go. If you think it's easy being a driving instructor, you just try saying that. Sometimes I have to laugh. People say, why do you talk so fast? Because if I talk like this and I was to say, check the mirror and check the mirror, now it's too slow. You cannot be like that. You've got to talk quickly because you've got a lot to say. Brake, clutch, second round the back of that car. Brake, clutch into one, brake off. Can I go? No, because I might stop in a bad place. Which they did. They paused to go to the shops. Off I go, accelerate away. And I want to point out, I'm not being mean here, I don't want to come across as sounding arrogant or rude, but sometimes people say, why'd you talk so quickly? Did you know that one of the most common, there's the spot I started in, one of the most common problems driving instructors have is with the speech. Do you know how many instructors I've spoken to who have had speech problems? I've had surgery on my throat more than once. I've had vocal cord surgery. I've known instructors and examiners who have had huge problems with getting sore throats and their voice. Many people give up the job because I've known instructors and examiners develop stutters and stammers and like this, because I'm actually going to pull over here. I do a bit of reverse parking. So check. On around there, handbrake on, turn. Nice second manoeuvre for you. When I'm at my angle for roughly 45 degrees, turn them back. Go back to opposite the tyre is almost on the curb. Turn that way. Keep looking back. There's such a tight gap, I'm going to have to wiggle. Again, if people say, oh, I've failed, if I go forwards. You haven't failed. It's such a tight gap. I'm going to go into first, roll, steer, and I've gone into a very tight gap. That's a really, really tight gap. Sometimes you have to wiggle. A little wiggle never hurts down then, does it? So I'll turn the engine off. That's the end of my test. And I'm pleased to say I think I'll pass myself on that one. Wouldn't it be nice if you were the examiner and you could pass yourself? Let's go over some points in this video. I don't want to come across as being rude, arrogant. I hope you can tell it's enthusiasm, it's passion. When people say, why'd you talk so quickly? There are two reasons. One is when you're with a learner, you can't be saying, check the middle mirror, check the right mirror. Signal, so it's too late, you've already gone. You've already passed the road. Middle mirror, right mirror, signal, brake, clutch, second, feet up. Can we go? Observe, steer, left lane, the middle mirror, left mirror. You have to be like that. You've got to be quite like that. It isn't being rude. It's just you've got to talk quite quickly. The other reason I talk quite quickly, as I mentioned about the hypnosis thing, I'm not going to give all this away, but if you talk quickly, it helps people learn, is all I'm going to say. Not in the way some people do it, not just gabbling, but there are ways you can talk quickly. And I actually did another video on this. It's no longer public on my channel, I don't think, but if you want to know why that is, let me know in the comments. I'll make a video about why speaking quickly can help people learn to drive. It's a bit of a hypnotic trick is the answer, but I'll explain in more detail if you want. What else came up in our video? I think I covered most things. The heater controls are in another video, like I said. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed that, and that is the kind of reach you may get from Heath Driving Test Centre. Now, if you do want to work with me and you're a learner, you can visit my website, firstdrive.com. There'll be links in the description. You can book lessons with me at the moment. I may still be doing them at the time you watch this, who knows. If you want to book therapy work with me, you can. If you want to overcome your fears and phobias of driving at speed, driving on motorways, driving test nerves. If you want to come and film yourself doing a driving test route with me, there's always an open invitation to come and film with me. I've had people travel from all over the place. I've had someone come from as far as Netherlands. They came over from Netherlands to film with me. That was, yeah, they didn't film with me, they learned with me. God, that was 23 years ago. Yeah, I didn't even know my dash cams back then. So I hope you found that helpful. Let me know in the comments, what videos would you like to see? What routes would you like to see? Would you like to see more on the Maypole roundabout on Becketts farm? Is there any points in this video you would like me to explain more? Let me know and I'll make those videos. So check out the videos on the screen now. Check out my website, firstdrive.com. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you again soon for more videos.